you have effectively leaders of a terrorist movement that has attacked a sovereign country, that promises to keep attacking the sovereign country. They are at war now. They've taken hundreds of hostages. Israel's trying to get their hostages back. And the leadership of this effort that started the war, slaughtered these people, is sitting in a tiny little country with a minuscule military and saying, ha ha, you can't touch us over here. We can order the slaughter of your people, the rape, the mayhem, the debauchery. We can even hit a bus in Jerusalem in the middle of morning rush hour while we're in the supposed negotiations, and there's not a damn thing you can do to us. And so again, all the attacks on Israel and, oh, you violated their sovereignty. Excuse me. A bus in Jerusalem was just attacked. People died. There were other casualties. The orders came out of Qatar, and that means Qatar is immune, and even more, Hamas is immune. As long as the leaders are in Qatar, they're immune from being taken out. This is stupid. Doesn't even make any sense. And there's very few leaders that would stand up to the entire world, and I mean the entire world, like Benjamin Netanyahu, which is why he's attacked and hated like this, but really ought to be admired. Really ought to be admired. Now, I told you Al Jazeera is a state-run and funded mouthpiece of the inbred, phony monarchy regime over there in Qatar. And they have a spokesman, Dr. Majal Nassar, or Yabba-dabba-doo, a spokesperson for Qatar's Ministry of Foreign Affairs. He told Doha News in an exclusive interview that Qatar will pursue global legal action against Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Wow, that'll be hard. The International Criminal Court, oh, that'll be fantastic. Well, let's listen to what this buffoon has to say. Go ahead.
As we have said once and again, those who act as obstacles for peace, the only way to achieve peace is either
Isn't it interesting he's doing it in English? Why is he doing it in English? To influence the United States, our government, our policies, particularly the Democrats, and most of Europe. That's why. So he's doing it in English because, if anything, they're great at propaganda. The terrorists are great at propaganda. Qatar's great at propaganda. Why? It's not because they're particularly skilled at it. It's because our Western media, they know how to play the left, the dolts in the Western media who gobble this stuff up. Go ahead.
Pressure them into changing their positions or removing them from the way of peace. And our message to Prime Minister Netanyahu is very clear. The whole world has chosen peace. And you are driving your country, you're driving your people into the abyss through rogue state policies that have endangered not only our region, but international peace and security. Prime Minister Netanyahu has chosen chaos, has chosen this reckless behavior, and has chosen regional instability. And it is the role of the rest of us in the world today, in the international community, all those who believe in international norms that were created post the Second World War to maintain peace in the world today, to stand together against this attack and the general escalatory policies of Prime Minister Netanyahu. When it comes to the legal team that
All right,
was...
shut up, you little moron. Driving your people into the abyss. It's unbelievable. So I have a couple follow-up questions. When the Israelis alerted our government to the fact that they were going to strike, I have a few questions about it. When was that exactly? Why do I ask you this? Because I've read somewhere that we alerted their military, which makes sense because apparently we have a big base there, right? And we have jet fighters there, right? And we have radar, right? And other means of determining what's taking place, as well as, satellite technology. And so I don't think the Israelis were going to fly 10 fighter jets into that area without alerting the United States. And they did alert the United States and the military. So that's number one. Number two, our military didn't do anything to stop them. Did it? No. Number three, the president was alerted somehow, some way, and according to him, he told Steve Witkoff, to inform the Qataris. Okay. So what did the Qataris do with that information? What did they do with that information? I'm sure they told the leaders of Hamas to get the hell out of there, because the information's coming in that while several people, 5 or 6, were killed, give or take, the top Hamas leadership appears to be intact. So the Israelis letting us know led to us tipping off Qatar, which in my view led to Qatar tipping off Hamas and helping to protect them from the strike, right? So not only are we not pressuring, even forcing Qatar to turn over the Hamas criminals, terrorists, for prosecution, the tip-off will have given them the ability to protect the leadership of Hamas. Now, one of the things that's being said and reported by the president, others, is, in the president's statement, he wants Hamas wiped out. He has, and he always has. He wants the leadership wiped out. He doesn't care about them. He always has. But it's the wrong place. It's the wrong place. And it's unfortunate that they're in that place. It's not unfortunate, it's intentional. Because as long as the position, our position and the world's position is that Israel can't go after this leadership as long as they're in Qatar, then they're going to stay in Qatar, fat and happy, giving orders to their fighters in Gaza and anywhere else on what to do, what not to do. They're not experiencing the leadership of Hamas of any of the negative fallout and effects from what they're doing. Nothing. I want you to think about it. Step back. Let's even forget the names a minute. You have effectively leaders of a terrorist movement that has attacked a sovereign country, that promises to keep attacking a sovereign country. They are at war now with that sovereign country in another location, we'll call it Gaza, in Gaza. They've taken hundreds of hostages. Israel's trying to get their hostages back. And the leadership of this effort that started the war, slaughtered these people, and have the hostages, is sitting in a tiny little country with a minuscule military and saying, ha ha, you can't touch us over here. We can order the slaughter of your people, the rape, the mayhem, the debauchery. We can even hit a bus in Jerusalem in the middle of morning rush hour while we're in the supposed negotiations, and there's not a damn thing you can do to us. That seems to be the position of the world. Israel say, oh yeah, we'll find you and we'll kill you. That's what we can do. Now, Qatar's complicated role in the Israel-Hamas war, complicated. They're two-faced, Qatar. They funded the attack on October 7th, 2023. They were the biggest sugar daddies for Hamas. They have the Hamas leadership in Doha to try and protect them, apparently with our okay. It's not complicated. That is crazy ass. That's what that is. That is insane. Well, according to the Canadian broadcast company, CBC, it's complicated. Let's take a look. Go.
Somewhere, amid the pristine streets and all the skyscrapers, Doha has an open secret. Qatar's capital city, 1,800 kilometers away from Gaza, a comfortable home for the leadership of Hamas. That's the group's political chief, Ismail Haniyeh, personally labeled by the U.S. a specially designated global terrorist. But living in Qatar, he greets allies like the Iranian foreign minister in full view of the cameras. For years, he and other senior Hamas leaders have been holed up in Doha. And now, more than ever, that deal has come into question.
In Qatar, Hamas's political leadership is closely scrutinized and closely watched.
The fact that they are harboring the bin Ladens of this story is unacceptable.
Since the October 7th massacre, Qatar has positioned itself as an intermediary, helping to free Israeli hostages. But this story starts much earlier. In 2012, the Hamas leader Haniya and Qatar's then ruler stood hand in hand. The group, already designated a terrorist organization by the US and Canada, was welcomed and set up its political office in Doha. The tiny state, mega wealthy from natural gas, plays an outsized diplomatic role with the West. Designated a major non-NATO ally by the US, Qatar last month helped secure the release of American hostages from Iran, and earlier hosted negotiations between the Trump administration and the Taliban. But plenty changed when Hamas militants stormed into Israel and took 1,400 lives. At the United Nations, Israel's foreign minister Eli Cohen berated the Qataris, demanding diplomats pile pressure on the Gulf autocracy.
Qatar, which financed and harbor of Hamas leaders, could influence and enable the immediate and unconditional release of all hostages.
Qatar purportedly exerts influence over Hamas by helping to fund the civil service in Gaza. This is not new. We found a transcript from 2014 when U.S. Congress called Qatar perhaps the largest financial patron of Hamas. Which leads us back to this.
The way the Qataris pull this off is by whitewashing their role in supporting Islamic extremism, by supporting businesses and investing vast sums of hydrocarbon wealth across places in London and the United States and elsewhere.
Mark Wallace served as a U.S. envoy to the United Nations under George W. Bush. He now leads the nonprofit Counter-Extremism Project. They're demanding a boycott of Qatar's luxury properties abroad, like London's famous Ritz Hotel, sold in 2020 for more than $1 billion to the brother-in-law of Qatar's ruler.
What are the chances they are not going to be financially and personally and as a government liable in part for these terror attacks? The perpetrators of these acts are hiding in plain sight, not even hiding, hosted in plain sight in luxury.
This is just 3 or 4 minutes, and I want to salute the broadcast company for this. I have not seen an American news company produce anything like this. Have you, Mr. Producer? And you've been looking, right? Nothing recently. Now, this is the real Qatar. And they don't even cover, or at least we don't play a clip that actually covers what their role was in protecting KSM, the ringleader behind 9/11, who they protected, subsidized, and then helped flee Qatar when the FBI kicked down his door, was looking for him. And then shortly thereafter, he was involved in the attack on our country on 9/11. This is Qatar. And it really is outrageous.
For all this and much more, sign up for Levin TV.